we stand tall? It is only because we stand on the shoulders of our many ancestors. I thought it would be a good way to start with that ancient African proverb, this edition of Nice News, which celebrates Black History Month. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at some of the great and wonderful things that people of African descent are doing all around the globe. And where better to do this edition of Nice News from than Africa itself? I am so excited to have Kaie Presents in the Motherland, the cradle of mankind and civilization. Specifically, I'm at the Villa Casa de Mare in Jumbiani village, which is on the southeast coast of the beautiful island of Zanzibar, home of spices and all things wonderful. Someplace I've wanted to visit since I was this high. Anyway, first up is Tyler Perry. He's an American actor, screenwriter, producer, playwright, and director, who at one time, according to Forbes, was the highest paid man in entertainment. He's the creative force behind 22 films, 20 plays, 8 TV shows, and now he's making history, or he has made history, as the only African-American man to own a major TV studio in the United States. The studio is in Atlanta, Georgia, and to say it is massive, big, is an understatement. Oprah Winfrey, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Halle Berry and Spike Lee were just some of the dignitaries who turned out for the recent Grand Gala opening. It's got a dozen sound stages which are named after Black Hollywood icons. At 330 acres, it's bigger than the studios of Disney, Warner and Paramount combined. Take a look at this clip where Tyler talks about some of the other plans he has for the site and what he calls the poetic justice of building his studio on a former Confederate Army base.
Lots of things have been shot here. The Walking Dead, Black Panther shot here, First Man, Instant Family with Mark Wahlberg. Really excited to be given stewardship to make sure that the land is maintained, that the history is protected and always serviced and known for many people.
You know, getting girls into coding is something that's been in the news a lot recently. Well, 12-year-old Fathia Abdullahi has taken up the challenge. Fathia is Nigerian and she started coding when she was 11 years old. Just a year after that, she's built a robot that folds clothes in 3 seconds. Fathia, I need to get your details. Yes, I want one. And you can read Fathia's stories and check out her bot in action by clicking on the link. D'Angelo Williams is another one of our Black History Month heroes. Why? Because he sponsors over 500 mammograms to honor his mother, who he sadly lost from breast cancer. D'Angelo is a former American football player who is dedicated to fighting this disease, and since 2015 he has covered the costs of mammogram screening for women through his non-profit organization, the D'Angelo Williams Foundation. D'Angelo is a staunch supporter of breast cancer awareness, having lost his mother Sandra in 2014 from breast cancer when she was just 53 years old. Sadly, he also lost 4 aunts to the disease, all before the age of 50. So this link will tell you a bit more about D'Angelo and why he is passionate about doing what he does. I have wanted to visit every country in the world. I always said that if money was no object, I would travel the 4 corners, literally. Well, Jessica Nabongo has done just that. She's like me, she wants to visit all of the countries, but she's actually done it. Every country in the world she's visited. Jessica is a United Nations employee turned travel blogger and is the first Black woman of African descent to not only visit every country on earth, but to document it. Before 2016, she'd already been to 60 countries, but from that year, she decided to set out and visit all 193 countries in the world. On the 6th of October, her Instagram page claimed that she had arrived in the Seychelles, which was the last stop on her list. Jessica says her travels aren't just about getting her name in a record book. She is hoping to pave the way for women and people of color to do just what she has done. This link will give you more information. I'm sure you will find her as inspirational as I have. Most of our smartphones are made in China, but Rwanda has created a smartphone that is made entirely in Africa. Now, we featured Rwanda on Nice News before. Do you remember I told you about that wonderful initiative where once a month everybody comes together to clean up the capital, Kigali? Well, this time, Random Brilliance has taken a tech turn, and we may soon be seeing Made in Rwanda on our mobile phones as opposed to Made in China. The Mara Group behind this venture recently opened a smartphone plant in Kigali and will make 2 Android smartphones, the Mara X and the Mara Z. Click on the link below to find out more and take a glimpse of what these new African-made phones will look like. China is a 26-year-old Nigerian inventor who has created a smokeless stove that not only cooks food, but it charges your mobile phone as well. The young inventor says although he wants to be an entrepreneur, his main motivation is his desire to positively affect human lives and help Mother Nature in the process. There are plans to distribute about 1,000 of these stoves to rural Kenyan farmers, and the company making the stoves is also looking to market it for campers who enjoy recreational outdoor activities. You can read more by clicking on the link below. You know that saying, the best things come in small packages? Well, Simone Biles certainly fits that bill. At 4'8", this young lady is an absolute powerhouse and seems to rack up medals and break world records in ways that lesser mortals like you and I can only imagine. At 22 years old, she is the most decorated gymnast in world gymnastic history. She's got 5, count them, 5 Olympic gold medals, 25 World Championship medals, 19 of which are gold, and the most ever in gymnastics history. She is the first woman to win 5 world all-round titles. She's renowned for being able to execute flawlessly some of the most challenging routines in women's artistic gymnastics, and she has 4 gymnastic moves named after her, one of which is something called a triple-double. Sounds like an ice cream to me. Anyway, it involves lots of tumbling, twisting, and a backflip. I never cease to be amazed by watching this young woman perform. And if you check out the link attached, I know you'll be blown away too, and you'll find out what this triple-double is actually about. This young man gives self-taught a whole new meaning. You know, it always saddens me when I hear that libraries are closing, because for as long as I can remember, I've loved reading. And I remember feeling particularly proud when, as a teenager, I was allowed to have an adult library card. Now, all that meant was that I could take out more books in the library, but for me, it was exciting times indeed. But while most of us read for pleasure, a Malawian teenager has used library books to teach himself how to build a windmill so that it could bring power to his village. William Kamkwamba was only 14 years old when he created his windmill. And what's remarkable is that he not only used library books to teach himself, but the windmill was actually made of junk. But he didn't stop there. He built another second larger windmill to power immigration pumps, and once again, library books were his teacher. William is now 22 years old and a speaker at TED Talks. In this clip, he explains his motivation.
What do you, do you want to build another one?
Yeah, I want to build another one to pump water and irrigation for crops.
So this one would have to be bigger?
Yeah.
How big?
I think it will produce more than 200 volts.
So that would produce irrigation for the entire village?
Yeah.
Wow. And so you're talking to people here at TED to get people who might be able to help in some way to realize this dream?
Yeah, they can help me with materials, yeah.
And as you think of your life going forward, you're 19 now, do you picture continuing with this dream of working in energy?
Yeah. I'm still thinking to work on energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
William, it's a real honor to have you at the TED conference. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.